the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you. It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBarbe by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
It's a Friday. It's a good thing, isn't it? The weekend's upon us. We got French Quarter Fest. We got Strawberry Fest. Strawberry Fest cranking up like right now in Ponchatoula. Yeah, you're right. French Quarter Fest day 2. Only in Metro. That's right, Drew Brees. Only in New Orleans. You get French Quarter Fest, Metro area, and go across I-55 across the lake. Strawberry Fest in Ponchatoula. Tonight, tomorrow, Sunday. Family fun. I've been to Strawberry Fest. Have you? It's worth it. It's worth it. If you're a big French Quarter Fester, it's worth taking half a day or a day and going to Ponchatoula for Strawberry Fest for sure. South Louisiana at its finest. And boy, we're right in the middle of strawberry season. So damn good. So nice getting a pint of strawberries. I basically get a pint of strawberries and a can of Ready Whip, the small can, and I'm good for 2 desserts. I'll clean and, wash and slice up a half a pint of strawberries, 5, 6, 7 of those big bad boys the size of a golf ball. And then, put some of that Ready Whip on top. Pretty damn good. And then I'll get it the other half, knock out the rest of the pint and the rest of the can of Ready Whip. So I'm getting about 2 desserts out of the pint and the can of Ready Whip. But that's like such a great dessert. And I like, I like crap. I like M&Ms. I like a Coke. So it's nice to not have to eat that crap and actually eat like strawberries from Louisiana that are the best strawberries anywhere. I'm glad we get California strawberries year round. I'm glad we get those Plant City, Florida strawberries because it's, it's America and we can get strawberries year round. That's fantastic. But Louisiana strawberry season lasts for just a few months. And when it's done, it's done. And then we got to wait till the next year and just really good. There's no like white in the middle. They're like red throughout. They're so juicy. You don't have to add sugar. Just fantastic. Strawberry season and crawfish season. Yeah, you're right. Crawfish, South Louisiana crawfish that are just full of fat, all different shapes and sizes, not those universal knuckle things from China or no fat, no flavor, worthless rubber garbage. It's not crawfish. Might as well cut up chicken. Make your crawfish etouffee with chicken if you're going to use Chinese crawfish tails. Worthless. No, Louisiana crawfish tails. So many places with great crawfish dishes, appetizers, entrees, crawfish topping fish, crawfish boil. Yeah, the pre-summer in New Orleans, kind of March, April, tough to beat with strawberry and crawfish season. But then right around the corner, We got Creole tomato season. Wow. Vidalia onions out of Georgia. Wow. Get a good Haas avocado, nice and ripe. Vidalia onions, Creole tomato, maybe a little jumbo lump crab meat. All you need on that is a little lemon, olive oil, some salt, and some cracked black pepper, and you got a grand slam home run. You don't want to mess that up with some thick, crazy store-bought dressing. Lemon, olive oil, salt, black pepper. The star of the show's the Creole tomato, the jumbo lump crab meat, the Vidalia onion, the avocado, that Haas avocado when ripe. Are you kidding me? So damn good. We don't eat to live here in New Orleans and South Louisiana. We don't eat to live. We live to eat. Every meal is important. Every meal is special. Man, a couple of buddies of mine are with their wives in South Carolina, playing a little golf, enjoying, where are they? Hilton Head Island. And he sent me a photo of like the breakfast they made one morning. I was just like, first class, world class, doing it right. No, a couple of New Orleans boys. One of them's actually a chef. The other one knows how to cook and grill, so they know what they're doing. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Gorgeous Friday afternoon. Rinse and repeat. Who has a problem with that? Having San Diego weather every day. Gorgeous Friday afternoon. French Quarter Fest Day 2 of 4 going on right now. They'll do it again tomorrow. They'll do it again Sunday. I mentioned Strawberry Fest cranking up right now. It's either 4 or 5 o'clock they start. They go to like 10, 11 tonight. They do it again tomorrow. They do it again Sunday in Ponchatoula. It's 80 degrees and sunny. And it looks like a rinse and repeat, at least into the first few rounds of next week's Zurich Classic. This Thursday, the Zurich Classic. Friday, the Zurich Classic. And then Saturday, Sunday, I saw some clouds rolling in, but no like rain chance, it doesn't look like. And the temperatures are fantastic. I saw some 50s to start the day. You got to love that. Got to love that. Gorgeous Friday afternoon. Great weather. Festivals going on. Welcome to New Orleans, huh? And even if you're not going to French Quarter Fest, which that'd be hard to do, the weather's great. Even if you're not going to Strawberry Fest in Ponchatoula, hard not to do. The weather's great. The weather's great. You're going to have a great weekend no matter what, right? Work week's almost done. Weekend's right in front of us. We'll blow that 5 o'clock whistle when the 5 o'clock power hour rolls along in a few minutes. But we got to knock out the 4 o'clock hour. Joining us in about 5 minutes, another edition of Fridays with Fletch. NFL Draft, Pelicans, all kind of goodies on the table. Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel will join us in a few minutes. Coming up in the 5 o'clock power hour, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. in about an hour. We'll visit with Michael Hecht, some multi-billion-dollar announcements for South Louisiana. You know, I can sit here and tell you pros and cons about Jeff Landry, but at least it's not like Bobby Jindal 2.0 where it was all cons and not very many pros. Not a lot getting done. Somebody that had inspirations down the line, want to be president or something crazy like that. Like or dislike Jeff Landry, the Troop Nola in New Orleans, the decrease in violent crime, he definitely gets some credit for that. Unless you're sleeping. Got to give him credit for that. I'm not saying he gets all the credit. It's solely him, but he's one of the spokes on the wheel, and there ain't too many spokes, like a half dozen, 5 of them. Jeff Landry's one of the major, spokes that got it done, getting it done. And then these economic lands, these economic investments coming into Louisiana. I didn't see that with John Bell Edwards. I've never seen this much as far as the billions It's like tens of billions of dollars, tens of billions. I've never seen it in my life. So, yes, you have to give credit to Jeff Landry, like him or not. Like him or not. Now, we'll talk to Michael Hecht about all of that. Morris Bart's on social media on X. Yesterday, I had Blake Arcuri on the program. He posted a video that Morris Bart took the client. A police officer pulled over a person in a truck. Police officer's cruiser was probably like 5 feet behind the truck. The police officer got out of the cruiser and apparently it was still in drive. And he was like at the truck talking to the, person that he was writing the ticket to. And I don't know, maybe there was something that stopped the vehicle from rolling, but then it just started creeping up and it closed in that 5 foot gap and tapped the bumper of the truck. I mean, you can watch the video on social media, tapped the bumper of the truck. Morris Bart said severe injury, and it was a more violent hit than maybe the video showed, and everybody's different, and wants $1.5 million for this. If you look at this video, it just yells what Morris Bart and these types of attorneys are all about a lot of the time. Are there some legitimate cases they take? Of course. But there is an egregious amount, a larger than normal percentage of cases that are either fabricated, exaggerated, embellished, or outright lies like this one. There's no way, no how this person didn't break a fingernail. Mind-blowing. You need to check out the video. Fridays with Fletch coming up next. Fletch is almost a New Orleans institution, like Young's Dry Cleaning since 1940. Want to experience the best dry cleaner? That's all I got to say. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Experience the best. Tired of your dry cleaner? Young'sDryCleaning.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
This almost doesn't seem possible, but it is. This breaking story. I like to tease Fletcher Mackel when he comes on. We don't have time. Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel joins as sports director at Channel 26 for 20-something years. Fletch, tell us, this breaking story is almost hard to believe.
Yes. So Ian Rappaport with the NFL Network is reporting that Derek Carr could potentially miss the entire 2025 season because of a shoulder injury, and he is considering season-ending surgery in its March. So Derek Carr, according to the NFL Network, Ian Rappaport, who obviously is one of the most well-connected insiders, is reporting that Derek Carr has a shoulder injury that could keep him out the entire season, which would end his career in New Orleans. You know, the Saints would either cut him this summer or they would just put him on injured reserve and cut him next offseason. If Derek Carr's career ends with this shoulder injury, he will easily become the worst free agent signing in the history of the Saints organization because he got the biggest contract in the history of the New Orleans Saints, $150 million with $100 million fully guaranteed.
Wow.
He's 14-13 as a starter, and if his career here ends with him injured, not even here, he'll pass Jarvis Bird. Jarvis Bird was the worst free agent signing ever. He became the highest paid safety in the NFL. He was hurt immediately and was never any good. Derek Carr will easily knock him off the medal stand for number one.
This is mind-blowing. When did Derek Carr play his last game last season as a Saint, Fletch? Sometime.
The Giants game, which was the beginning of December, because remember he tried to go up and over. So he got knocked out, just so you know. He was hurt twice last year. The Kansas City game, when he got sacked, he suffered an oblique injury, and that threw Spencer Rattler in for 3 games or whatever it was. And then Carr came back, and it was the game he came back was the game Dennis got fired. He came back for the Carolina game when they went to Charlotte and lost. And then in the beginning of December, it was like the first week of December, he tried to dive for the first down and injured his hand, his shoulder, concussion, everything, and he never came back after that. So he ended up missing 12 games in total last year.
All right, so he's been on the bench for 4 months now. We're in April. We're right outside the NFL draft next week. It's April. Why? This is like Michael Thomas. Why 4 months later are we finding out that he might need shoulder surgery? But the shoulder wasn't hurting him 4 months ago?
Let me say this. I like your conspiracy theorist, kind of questioning there, because there's already been reports that Derek Carr may not have wanted to be here, that he may have wanted to be let go. Like, cut me. Like, if I'm not Kellen's guy, if you don't look at me as a long-term answer, cut me. Look, there's jobs. Pittsburgh still doesn't have a quarterback. Cleveland signed Joe Flacco today. I think Derek Carr and his people, his agent, his people, probably thought, didn't work out here. DA got fired. I got one more big contract in me, whether it's a 1 or 2 year deal. Set me free. And look at a place like Tennessee. They're going to draft Cam Ward. There's no guarantee they're going to start Cam Ward right away. They may have liked Derek Carr. The coaching staff in Tennessee was with him with the Raiders. So it didn't happen, and that could lead to the conspiracy theory of why he hasn't been here. Like, he hasn't been here all offseason. He didn't want to be here. He wanted to be cut, and now maybe if it's, hey, look, my shoulder hurts. I'll use this year. I'll get right. I'll get healthy. They'll cut me, and I'll go back in the free agent next year because there's always quarterback needy teams. I mean, again, that's a conspiracy theory, but it's one worth discussing given how this offseason is gone.
No, he hadn't been around at all for nothing. Any kind of Saints announcements, free agent signings, draft coming up, nothing. You haven't seen Derek Carr at all. So, no, I don't think that's even a conspiracy theory. Those are legitimate questions that need to be asked to the organization, or if Carr ever reappears. Unbelievable. So it's 4 months later, and maybe he is out for the season because there's potential shoulder surgery on the horizon. That's the story.
That's according. Look, again, it's right, and it's going to trickle down to all of us. Ian Rappaport with the NFL Network just gave us the Friday news dump bombshell for New Orleans at 4:10 on a Friday. He throws out there that Derek Carr's season is in jeopardy because of a shoulder injury that may require season-ending surgery that shuts him down for the whole year. So again, yes, it's certainly, look, if that report is coming out, it's certainly something that's more real than not. Because if it was a minor procedure to clean him up, or if it was something that had been nagging him, he could maybe rehab it. But when that stuff comes out now, that to me all but says the worst is coming. Like, the Saints are going to draft a quarterback at number 9 probably, and go forward with, hey, this is where we're going this year. We're drafting Shador, or we're drafting Jackson Dart. And yes, we'll bring in another veteran to maybe ease the responsibility. But again, it's crazy. It's not. I'm almost at a loss for words. I'm never at a loss for words.
No, I hear you. Saints choosing number 9. Here's the dilemma, Fletch. Nothing sucks more than being a fan of an NFL team that doesn't have a quarterback. So you have to have a starting quarterback. Ideally, you want one that's in the top third of all the NFL starting quarterbacks. So that you got to have a quarterback. You want to know what sucks worse than that? Having like the number 1 pick in the draft, or number 2 or number 3, and their quarterbacks obviously coming out of college, and they're going to be drafted. Maybe a bunch of them, but none of them are near the top talent for that first, second, or third pick. But these teams, because that position's so important, and they're desperate, and also they'll look down the road if it works out. Where does it matter where we drafted him? He's our starting quarterback, and he's viable. So these teams get forced into drafting a quarterback early in the draft, and it doesn't work out a lot of the time. At number 9, at number 9, it seems like there's a disparity. Like, there's some top 5 quarterbacks, like a couple that are top 5, and then the next couple are like top 30. Am I wrong?
So I would say this about drafting quarterbacks, and I probably have to go when you hit your break at the 30 mark because I got to get back to my real job. I apologize.
No problem.
I would say this: drafting quarterbacks is the most. It's the most important position for a football team. You have a great quarterback, or you are completely irrelevant. All the great teams all the Super Bowl champions have great quarterbacks. So you have one, or you need one. But here's the thing. they come all over the place. Just because a guy goes number 1 overall, Jameis went number 1 overall, Marcus Mariota went number 1 overall, Zach Wilson went number 2 overall. Just because they go 1 or 2 doesn't guarantee success. Now, I would say you need to have one in the first round. Josh Allen went 7. Mahomes went 10. Lamar Jackson went 32. Again, I think there's outliers. Dak Prescott was a 4th rounder. Russell Wilson was a 3rd rounder. Brady, of course, was a 6th rounder. But Drew Brees was the first pick of the 2nd round. So I would say you've got to get one in those top 30 or 40 picks. And that's where, now, again, doesn't mean you got to have the number 1 quarterback, but you got to get one in the first round historically. But where they come from, again, there's guys that people swore were going to have instant success and didn't, and other guys. Patrick Mahomes felt like a huge reach to a lot of people. He may be the greatest quarterback to ever play by the time he's finished. So it's an inexact science, and it's hard to facilitate and execute.
At number 9, if a team wants some player and it's not a quarterback, and they're willing to give the Saints, some draft picks, and the Saints go from 9 to 18, which I know they never do, but wouldn't that be a move and you still get your quarterback?
No, I don't think so. I think it's the most important position. To me, there's no difference. Get your guy at 9. Like, don't wait. Don't have somebody else. Because here's the thing. The Saints had 2 guys. They like Lattimore and they like Mahomes. They could have moved up 1 spot and taken Mahomes. Kansas City jumped them and now has the second greatest quarterback to Brady in NFL history. If you like your guy at 9, then take Shedeur Sanders if that's him. Take Jackson Dart. Don't trade down and then have the Steelers or the Rams or the Browns come back in front of you to get the guy you like. Just take your guy and have conviction about it.
Thank you, Derek Carr, for wrecking your day off. What do you got going on Channel 6 real quick, Fletch?
Derek Carr, I'm getting ready to do a Zoom right now. I was off, and now I'm doing digital work while Sharif goes on set.
Wow. Fletch, thank you.
Thank you.
Check him out on Channel 6. Fletcher Mackel joining us live like he does every Friday. Fridays with Fletch. This is obnoxious. I mean, this is as bad as it gets. Jeff Duncan, look, Jeff Duncan has an opinion. He's very informed. He knows what he's talking about. Fletcher Mackel has an opinion. He's very informed. He knows what he's talking about. Both of them know a lot more than I do about it. I can promise you. They're on top of it. Jeff is like, you don't force that pick. I think he's kind of thinking like I'm thinking, like there's 2 quarterbacks that are like top 5. The next 2 are like top 25, top 30. The Saints could still get their quarterback going down. You look at the other teams, who's in need of a QB. Is there a risk they could pick that player in front of you? But you can get more draft stock. Or do you go with what Fletcher's saying? It's going to be irrelevant in months, years from now if you get the right one. No one's going to say you should have got an additional pick and moved 10 spots down and grabbed the quarterback. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 airy locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Mind blowing. Yeah, hard to believe. You heard Fletch. He's like, man, usually I've got something to say. I don't have anything to say. Just it's hard for him to talk about it in a way because it's just shocking. Derek Carr may be out for the entire Saints season, contemplating shoulder surgery. Can you believe it? Why has Derek Carr been MIA for the last 4 months? Why have we not seen any of Derek Carr? Why didn't Derek Carr and the Saints organization 4 months ago maybe realize of this shoulder problem and that it would require surgery? Kind of reminiscent of Michael Thomas, like waiting till the season's going to start to go, I need surgery. It's like that's what the off season's for. $100 million guaranteed. Crazy. Derek Carr may be out for the entire Saints season. No, it puts the Saints in a predicament where maybe they're forced to draft a quarterback in next week's NFL draft. Forced to do it. When maybe those quarterbacks don't justify the 9th overall pick. Like if the Saints were picking 20th in the draft, both those quarterbacks that they're looking at would be there. Maybe they'd be there at 25. Who knows? But 9 seems like too high of a selection. I don't want to say to waste on one of these QBs. Fletcher makes a great point. Either one of those quarterbacks ends up being a viable starter in the NFL, top third of the 32 teams, top 10, 12 quarterback in the league. You don't care where you got them, where you picked them. 9th, 20th, it doesn't matter. But when it's before the draft, you want to get the biggest bang for the buck. And then if you have a team that comes calling, hey, Saints, we want to select Joe Blow. He's not a quarterback. We covet this guy. And we'll give you our 18th selection in the first round plus a second round pick or next year's second round or whatever. You may have to consider that stuff. It definitely changes things. Fletcher Mackel's like, you pick one of these QBs, Dart, Sanders, you pick one of these QBs for sure at 9th. Jeff Duncan had an article kind of even stronger than what I'm saying. I'm saying like, Fletch, you have to question that if they don't justify the 9th overall pick. And I just told you the argument that if they work out, it doesn't matter. Jeff Duncan's like, man, you don't want to reach. This class of quarterbacks not rated as high like as last year, or maybe what next year's class looks like. Maybe you have to wait and get your quarterback next year. But then it's like, are the Saints just throwing in the towel for the 2025 season? They're going to go with Hayner or Rattler, these young pups that are totally unproven. And the times they have played, they showed they're very young pups and not ready to be NFL starters week in, week out, game in, game out. So, no, this isn't good news. It looked like Derek Carr was going to be your starter, which wasn't great news anyway, Or were the Saints and Kellen Moore going to go in another direction, draft a quarterback and start this guy? And Carr's going to help him and teach him, and he's going to ride the bench, and then the Saints are going to cut him, after this season. Now it seems like a moot point. It looks like Derek Carr is going to be out, shoulder surgery, done for the year. That's brutal. The Saints have a new coach. Looks like they're going to have to go with a new quarterback this year or next year. The Pelicans, I don't know about the coach. And then a lot of folks are like, what's not to know? 4 seasons and no success. No deep playoff runs, only a couple of playoff trips, one and done. So do you keep Willie Green or do you not? I like Willie Green. Great guy, but not a lot of success. And then David Griffin, he's been GM for like 5 years, 6 years. Not a lot of success. Zion Williamson, if a team comes calling and offers anything reasonable, I think you 86 Zion Williamson. Everybody wants healthy Zion Williamson, the potential, what he can be. And the injuries are behind him. And for the next 5 seasons, he'll be great. I hear you. Everyone wants that. But going with what we've seen the last 5 years, this guy played 30 games last year, meaning he missed 52. He missed 52 of 82 games last year. 2 seasons ago, the same kind of crap. I think he's missed more games than he's played. He was drafted in 2019. It's 2025. I mean, my God. I don't know. It might be time to move on, especially if someone offers anything of significance. Hey, coming up in the 5 o'clock power hour on this Fantasy Friday, Cha-ching Friday, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. is going to join us. A lot of economic news to discuss. Boy, when the weather's like this, Lebanon's Cafe. Lebanon's Cafe. Carrollton at Jeanette, right by the streetcar barn, where Carrollton is one lane in between Claiborne and the Riverbend. Dine outside, under the big green awning, under the oak trees, on the streetcar line. Lamb chop, shish kebab, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides. Authentic, big portions, priced right, fresh, healthy. Lebanon's Cafe, so damn good. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. I've been mentioning the 6 lamb chops at Lebanon's Cafe with this like green bean and onion, like grilled onion medley on the side. And then you still get 2 Middle Eastern sides like baba ganoush or majedra or tabbouleh or hummus. So 6 lamb chops, grilled veggie medley on the side, 2 Lebanese sides that you get to choose. It was always like 20-something bucks, $26, $28. I think it's gone up to like $31 now. It's still the best lamb chop deal maybe anywhere in the world at Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. Gorgeous Friday afternoon. Great day to get outside. Enjoy the weather. Great day to get to French Quarter Fest. Tomorrow, Sunday, great weather days. Rinse and repeat. Great day to get out to Strawberry Fest. Tomorrow, Sunday, same weather, rinse and repeat. Yeah, get out there. Get to Ponchatoula. Get some strawberries. Get down to the French Quarter. Enjoy French Quarter Fest, some of the best festival food in the world. Some of New Orleans' finest restaurants serving a little morsel or two. And at cheaper prices than at the restaurant. $6, $8, $10, $12. Tough to beat French Quarter Fest. 22 stages, 300 plus acts, all local, and dozens and dozens and dozens of tents of great food and drinks and the like. Snowballs, desserts, all kind of goodies at French Quarter Fest. You know, it's been a long time, and it's one of those things like we all kind of know it and you just sort of overlook it. I'm talking about these injury attorneys and how it affects our lives directly. These obnoxious settlements. There's no injury and they're taking the suit. I've mentioned that a lot of it is exaggerated, embellished, or outright lies. And it's ironical. I had Blake Arcuri on the program yesterday, a local attorney. Today on Twitter, he posted a video. He was defending the police officer. Morris Bart was defending the person the police officer pulled over. The police cruiser stopped about 5 feet from the truck in front of him. A truck, like an F-150. The cop got out of his cruiser like an Explorer and walked up to the window. The cop didn't realize the car was still in drive. But it sat there for a second, and then it slowly creeped up, like way less than a mile an hour. Like, I don't know if a digital speedometer would have put a 1 up there. You can watch the live video. It just taps the bumper of the truck. The cop's like a little shocked, but he doesn't like run and freak out because it's so minor. He's standing right there. The person in the truck sues. Arcuri posts the letter and the lawsuit, everything. Morris Bart wants $1.5 million, like saying like the injuries were more severe than the video looks, all of this. Any human being on planet Earth watches this video. You can go to my Twitter at Corey Johnson or go to Blake Arcuri's Twitter. He's the lawyer that posted the video. Any human being on planet Earth, including any injury attorney. Well, I shouldn't say that because these injury attorneys have just, they sold out a long time ago, and then they justify the crappy behavior. So, no, an injury attorney will probably salivate at that. Wow, a car tapped a vehicle. Let me go make sure that person's not hurt. You know, I shouldn't even say that. That person is hurt. They have a neck and back injury, and they feel a little dizzy, and there's no way to prove it. An MRI doesn't show anything. A doctor says there's no injury, but a doctor will even say, I don't know, I'm not the person. You'll have to ask the person. $1.5 million. No, that video defines Morris Bart and exactly what he's about, and all these injury attorneys are about. Inflated, erroneous, exaggerated, embellished, outright lies. You know, some of the lawsuits are legitimate, and a lot of them aren't. And this one isn't legitimate at all. And Morris Bart stands by the video. He's proud of getting the money for his client, the most amount. It's obnoxious. 1.5 million. Yeah, because Morris Bart got 40%. He pulled 600 grand of the 1.5 million. 600 grand from the cop tapping the bumper of this truck. And no one heard it all. The person in the truck couldn't have heard a fingernail. Watch the video. It's that obnoxious. And Morris Bart defends it because he sold out so long ago, and he's been justifying this behavior for decades. And I don't know, you live in Audubon Place, you're rich, you're wealthy. You know, it's easy to justify. Money makes people funny. No, it's sad. The problem is the wealth is from us. A penny here, a nickel there, a quarter there, a dollar here, $5 there, $10
The
there.
Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Saints off-season program starts in 3 days. Derek Carr, story breaking that he might need shoulder surgery and it would knock him out the entire 2025 season. Wow. $100 million guaranteed. Derek Carr pulled about $10 million a game out of the Saints. About $2.5 million a quarter. Seriously. About $2.5 million a quarter played. That's harsh. No, if Derek Carr has surgery, he's done. You never see him in a Saints uniform again. Just be another journeyman quarterback hopping from team to team with enough money now for the rest of his life, thanks to the New Orleans Saints making a bad move, grabbing Derek Carr, making a bad move, going with Dennis Allen as coach. It's easy to play Monday quarterback, literally and figuratively. It's all happened. It's not good. No, but that's when you have to make tough decisions like Zion Williamson, Willie Green, David Griffin. Got to make tough decisions. You keep them again. Do you go with the Dennis Allen, the Derek Carr thing, or do or are these people different and things work out? And Zion Williamson plays for years. The Saints Pelicans organization, they got some, tough calls to make. Not winning teams lately. Both organizations don't have winning teams lately. A massive tire fire yesterday on the West Bank. The illegal tire dumping in Metro New Orleans is obnoxious. And it seems real easy to solve. And I'm not even talking about, a GoPro with a battery pack and a little solar panel, like $1,000 or something. A couple of those, you spend a few $1,000, all hooked up wirelessly to some command center, and authorities could be watching that all the time. Hell, you could have, citizen volunteers watch. And when the dumping happens, authorities are sent out there and the truck is seized. And the dumper goes to jail, wreck their life. Man, tire dump in Metro New Orleans, man. They will wreck your life. That kind of thing. That's the solution. But an even easier solution, how many people pick up used tires from tire shops in Metro New Orleans? I mean, how many tire shops are there? Now, there are a lot of little mom and pop ones, and there's some big tire shops, but it's not 1,000 of them. It's not 1,000. In the entire Metro New Orleans area, there are probably a few hundred at most tire shops, including the little mom and pop, in the hood on the corner type places that patch and plug tires. And it's not like those mom and pops are moving a whole lot of tires. But everybody counts. So of the few hundred, let's say it's 200 and it's not. How many people are picking up tires for a living from those tire places regularly? It seems like going to the tire places, who picks up your tires, finding out who those people are, and then simply monitoring those people. That's all you have to do. It's got to be, a couple of dozen folks. Some of them are more big time with bigger trucks. Some of them are more small time with like a pickup and a trailer. Where are they dumping the tires? Hell, you go to a couple of tire places. You know how much an Apple tag, what is it, an iTag? The Apple little, it's about the size of, it'd be like 2 quarters stuck together. It's about that thick and that round. And this Apple iTag, I think it's what it's called, something tag, they're like $25, and you get like 4 of them for like $50 or something. You could just get some of that, Scotch 2-way tape and stick some of those in some tires. Some of the tires are going to go to a legitimate place. People are going to pay to dump the tires at a legitimate dump. The other tires are going to get dumped illegally. I mean, this isn't that hard of a problem to solve, for crying out loud. The West Bank dumping area, isolated spot, hundreds, if not thousands of tires. New Orleans East off Michoud, thousands of tires. And it continues to happen. I mean, my God, solve the problem already. Literally, I had Oliver Thomas on the show, and I mean, he's got to be the guy to solve the problem. He's also telling you about the problem. There are trucks like dually 18-wheeler trailers. Both of these big baskets they're hauling, 18-wheelers I'm talking about, big trucks, full of tires. And they come from like Alabama and Tennessee and dump their tires off the Michoud exit in New Orleans East because they know they can get away with it. So spending hundreds of dollars in diesel fuel is clearly worth it because it must be thousands of dollars for, each tire might be $4 or $5, $6, $8. I don't know what it costs to dispose of a tire and what the fee is in Alabama or Tennessee. But according to Oliver Thomas, they're coming down and dumping tires and going right back up. That's crazy. Hey, man, don't go pay the $1,000, down the street to get rid of all these tires. Just spend $250 in diesel and go down to New Orleans and just dump them and come back up. You get a little vacation, nice drive. Just terrible. No, big West Bank fire, massive fire. It was tires on the West Bank illegally dumped. Got a problem in Metro New Orleans with illegally dumped tires. Let's fix that problem in Metro New Orleans, not just Orleans Parish. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way. Got a good one. Mackel Hecht, about 15 minutes away from Greater New Orleans Inc. Some multi-billion-dollar investments. Blue Boy, you should be jumping and barking. You should be. I did say multi-billion-dollar investments. Coming to Southeast Louisiana. Yeah, you're right. A gorgeous Friday afternoon. French Quarter Fest, Strawberry Fest in Ponchatoula. Welcome to Metro New Orleans, the greatest city in the world. Down, Blue Boy, down.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Easy, buddy.
On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance, keep you cool.
Ford F-150, number one seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Oh, yeah. Gotta love it. 5 o'clock hour on a Fantasy Friday. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us. Got a good one lined up for you. But before we do anything, we have to head to San Diego and Mr. Drew Brees. Thank you, number 9. Any chance you can come out of retirement? Because Ian Rappaport is reporting that Derek Carr probably needs shoulder surgery, and he's most likely done for the 2025 season. Derek Carr hasn't played quarterback in a Saints uniform since early December, or 4 full months ago. 4 full months ago. 3 days out of the Saints reporting for one of their little sessions coming up, a team little, workout. This pops up 3 days outside of that. Derek Carr's been MIA the entire offseason. And now it seems to make sense. I don't know if Derek Carr wanted to be here this year. Fletcher Mackel was talking about that last hour when he joined us. Maybe not in Kellen Moore's plans. Derek Carr walks with $100 million guaranteed with the Saints when it's officially all said and done. I guess he'll be on injured reserve and sit out the entire year, and then the Saints will cut him, and he'll walk with $100 million. What are you playing, about 10 Saints games or so? That's about $10 million a game, $2.5 million a quarter, roughly. Wow. The big news of the day, Derek Carr looks like his shoulder will require surgery, and he's done for the year. It puts the Saints in a precarious situation. Like at number 9, do you go draft a quarterback that isn't worthy of the 9th selection? And Fletcher Mackel makes a great point. If the quarterback works out, you get him 20th, 9th, second round, 5th round free agent. If he works out and he's your starter for years and he's good, you don't care where you got him. But it still seems like one of the worst things in the NFL, it sucks when you don't have an NFL quarterback on your roster. And it really sucks when you have the first, second, third pick in the draft and the pressure's on where you have to draft a quarterback. But none of the quarterbacks are worth top 3 picks. There's 10 or 20 players better than any single quarterback. And all the NFL teams that have a quarterback already and get to draft those players are loving it. I mean, how many teams with the first overall pick, second overall pick have picked a quarterback and not gotten anything out of it? Just a failure, just a major mistake. Happens all the time. Quarterback's one of the toughest positions to draft. And most quarterbacks that are drafted don't make it. There's 32 NFL teams. There are 8 to 10. You want to say 12 tops? I'd really say like 8 to 10 elite quarterbacks, like as good as it gets. You got, Super Bowl caliber quarterback, a quarterback that you can win with year in, year out. Then you got like the next 10 or 12. And they're serviceable. You could win a Super Bowl with them. They're viable. They're just not elite. They're not like the Drew Brees category, the Peyton Manning, the Brady, the Mahomes category, but they're damn good. And then you've got the bottom third, like quarterbacks 20 through 32, that aren't good enough to start for an NFL team and lead them to victory consistently. It means there's about 20 quarterbacks on planet Earth that can lead an NFL team. Because there's a good 10 or 12 teams in the league that need a quarterback year in, year out. Think about all the backup quarterbacks. None of them are viable starters. That's why they're backup quarterbacks. Hope your starter goes down for just that game or maybe the next game only, and then the backup sits on the bench and the starter's back in. So no, quarterback's very difficult to obtain. It's a coveted position. Teams will go out on a limb, pick, nowhere near where they should and grab a quarterback. Saints are selecting 9th. There's 2 QBs that are like top 5, and then the next 2 are like top 25. The Saints are caught right in the middle. Do they draft one of those guys? Do they look for teams that are looking to draft a non-quarterback and covet the Saints selection? Hey, Saints, we're picking 15th. You give us the 9th pick so we can draft our guy. You fall to 15th. You still get one of your 2 quarterbacks you're looking at. And we'll give you a second-round pick. And we'll give you next year's whatever, Saints gaining more draft stock, more players. They need that. Saints aren't a winning team right now. They need all the help they can get. All the help they can get. Then there's like the Aaron Rodgers thing, and immediately a bunch of Saints fans are, no, don't want him, whatever. Aaron Rodgers better than any Saints quarterback on the roster. And Aaron Rodgers can mentor maybe, Haener and Rattler and maybe get them going. I'm not sitting there going, boy, Aaron Rodgers, you can get him, you're going to win. You might win. He might have a great season. He might be over the hill and it doesn't work, but the Saints don't have a lot of choices. I would definitely inquire, what's it going to cost, all that stuff. I don't think teams are banging down Aaron Rodgers' door because he's not a guarantee, because he's old. But what choice does a quarterback desperate team like the Saints have? Derek Carr looks like he's going to have shoulder surgery done for 2025. That's the story from Ian Rappaport, very viable source. Terrible, terrible. Hey, coming up in 5 minutes, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. will join us. Multi-billion-dollar investments in Southeast Louisiana. We'll find out what that's all about. Hey, the 5 o'clock powwow, specifically on a Friday, the 5 o'clock whistle, toot, toot. We blow that 5 o'clock whistle because we like putting the spotlight on this very moment. Friday afternoon, a little bit after 5 p.m., 100% of the work week for most of us in the books, and 100% of the weekends in front of us. And what a weekend it is. Strawberry Festival in Ponchatoula just opened their doors. They'll go to like 10, 11 o'clock tonight. They'll go all day tomorrow into the night. They'll go all day Sunday into the night. Strawberry Festival, Ponchatoula, North Shore. Fantastic. French Quarter Festival. Tough to beat French Quarter Fest, about as good as it gets. Some say the largest free festival in the country. Great New Orleans restaurants serving a little tidbit. $6, $8, $10, $12 for something great to eat. 22 stages, 300 plus acts. They started yesterday, had a fantastic day. Day 2 going on right now. They'll go till 8 o'clock. No charge to get in. Head over there and get dinner. All day tomorrow, all day Sunday. French Quarter Fest 2025. The beautiful thing about French Quarter Fest this year, Strawberry Fest, 80 and sunny right now. Rinse and repeat tomorrow. Rinse and repeat Sunday. Rinse and repeat all next week, going into the Zurich Classic next week on the West Bank. Yeah, you right. Are you kidding me? Fantastic. Hey, that 5 o'clock whistle on a Friday, appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. Why aren't you at Katie's right now in Mid-City? The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant, a true taste of New Orleans as it gets. Outdoor dining at Katie's, wrapping around the corner of Iberville and Telemachus. Yeah, with this weather, outdoor dining tonight. Enjoy some great New Orleans specialties, old school, Katie's in Mid-City. You never know what Scott Craig's going to bring in there. Might have pompano tonight, soft shell crab, speckled trout, flounder, snapper. So good, Katie's in Mid-City. Gorgeous Friday afternoon, sunny weather for the foreseeable future. The spring-like weather holding on, gotta love it. Nice breeze, 70s. Wow. One of the reasons we live down here, I often say the architecture, the history, the people, the culture, the food, the music. Don't forget the weather. Great weather down here. Masters golf going on this weekend. Even if you're not a golf fan, it's a major, and it is a beautiful golf course, and it's lush and green and just meticulously manicured, something you'll never see anywhere else. Definitely something worth looking at least for a few minutes. Plus, you get to watch pro golfers struggle like amateur golfers. Masters going on from Augusta. Corey Johnson with you. We had Blake Arcuri on the program last night. I reposted some video he had. It's on my Twitter at Corey Johnson. It's obnoxious. It's a Morris Bart client. $1.5 million. Got the bumper tapped to the vehicle. No one was hurt. Not a fingernail broken. Morris Bart really having no shame, bragging about it online. Bragging about it. Really pathetic. Part of the problem.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Thanks so much for joining us. Michael Hecht joins us live from Greater New Orleans Inc. on this Fantasy Friday. What up, Miguel?
Corey Johnson, I'm the only person who's not down at French Quarter Fest right now.
That's because you're beelining up I-55 to Strawberry Festival in Ponchatoula? Question mark?
No, yeah, I'm about to go over and give some presentation at the Windsor Court and then go to dinner with my in-laws.
Oh, wow. If you're going to dinner at the Windsor Court, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're going to go to Jamila's down over on Maple Street, little Tunisian place.
Yeah, hell yeah, Mediterranean joint.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of a little bit, you can't book online. So it's always a little bit quieter, which is kind of nice.
No, it's great. Plus, I mean, the wife's doing the cooking and the husband's up front taking care of everything.
Exactly. It's like, it's totally real deal like that. That's totally true.
I'm glad you bring them up. I mean, I live in that neighborhood and I don't go there enough. I need to go see them. I haven't been in like a couple of years. I mention this a lot, Michael. We have all these restaurants. Jamila's is a perfect example. I bring up stuff like, and they all do well. I bring up like Clancy's, Le Petit Grocery, Irene's, Brightson's, Bayona, the Clancy's. They're all there, Patois. I can go on and on. But you got to frequent them because maybe one day they'll just disappear. We kind of, you don't want to overlook them, I guess is what I'm saying.
No, you don't want to take them for granted. But one thing I've noticed about this city is that we have far too many restaurants. But the ones that are good, even if they're difficult to get to, difficult to park, they get patronized. They sustain. It's pretty impressive.
No, it really is. And the tourist convention thing, that's one great thing about our city. We punch above our weight. I mean, Canal Place, Windsor Court, you mentioned them, Four Seasons, Ritz-Carlton, all the nice shops, fine dining, high-end stuff, Louis Vuitton, all that. I mean, and then, instead of having like 15 good restaurants like Jefferson Parish or the North Shore or Atlanta or Dallas, we've got 150, I'll
tell you what, I was over in One Canal a couple days ago for a meeting. I gotta say, like, that downstairs floor, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's as ritzy as any shopping center in Dubai. I mean, it's, I'm not going to go and spend my money at Louis Vuitton and get all of these hoity-toity places. I kind of been through that. But, like, it's got them all, and they seem to be doing well enough to stay open. It's impressive.
These two women that, take care of me, and I want to take care of them, and they're married. So keep your mind out of the gutter, Michael Hecht. I went to Louis Vuitton. I got one of them like a little wallet, and another one a little like kind of keychain thing, and it was like $700 for one and like $850 for the other. They earned it and they deserved it, and I knew they'd like that high end stuff, but I'm buying the cheapest stuff at that place, and it was $750, $850. So no, you're right.
No, you're buying the key fob.
Exactly, the key fob thing, a little hook with a little piece of, I don't even know if it's real leather. $700.
Right, you're buying. I get it. You're buying the Louis Vuitton socks.
Exactly, $150 pair of socks.
All right, I feel you, bro.
Now that is funny you say that. I'll tell you a funny story real quick, Michael, before we get into billions of dollars in economic investment in Southeast Louisiana. I'm in New York last September for a wedding, and the wedding was up in Westchester, like Rye, White Plains, so just, Audubon Place on steroids. And I love New York. So anytime I go to New York, Manhattan, I'll pop in like Ferragamo. I like that Italian stuff. And I might pick up a pair of shoes or something. So I hadn't been in about, I'd been in New York, but I didn't pop in Ferragamo until this last trip in September. I like this pair of loafers. I was like, there's going to be like $400 for these loafers. I'm going to bite the bullet and buy them. $1,200. I'm like, okay, not buying those loafers.
No, so can't bite that bullet.
So then I like this white button-down shirt, and I'm going, this is going to be like a $300 shirt. I'm going to bite the bullet. $1,100. So then I was like, I told the guy, I just want something from your store. What is the lowest price stuff you got? There was this knit hat. It was like $350. I'm like, I'm not paying $350 for a knit hat. And then this little wallet I almost bought that was like $400. I told the guy, I was like, love you, man. Love Ferragamo. Can't afford it anymore.
Yeah, it's just, but what's interesting is that if you read about these luxury brands, the ones that are struggling are the ones that kind of have tried to, please everybody by having trinkets for people like me and you, and then having, the real expensive. The ones that have done really well are like, I guess Louis Vuitton's the example.
Yeah.
Who does the Birkin bag, like the $10,000 Birkin bags? Is that, I don't know. I think it's Louis Vuitton. But anyway, the ones that have stayed very exclusive and very high end, the ones that are doing better because they've retained their exclusivity and they haven't diluted it on schmucks like me and you.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's a good point. Yeah, Louis Vuitton still kills it. Yeah, those bags for women, Chanel and Ferragamo, it's $3,000, $5,000 $5,000 for a purse. It's crazy. It really is. And then the Kim Kardashian types, they're dropping $25,000-$30,000 for some limited edition thing, and it's like you and I getting a slice of pizza somewhere.
Right. Yeah. No. It's a nothing. Although I gotta say, like, if I had that kind of like money, no object money.
Yep.
Like, what would be the joy in spending it? Like, as I was going into the shop. Outside was this Maserati SUV, a Lamborghini SUV. And now, first of all, it's just full of like Volkswagen and Audi parts. So it's kind of like it's basically like a Q7 with an extra $100,000 on it.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like if I had like $250,000 to spend on a car, would I really get a Lamborghini SUV? Like I'm just not quite sure like what to get. I don't know. I would get like a lowrider Corolla. I thought that'd be more interesting or something.
A buddy of mine, him and his friend and wives, they're in Hilton Head right now playing golf. And I was talking to him earlier in the day, and I was like, so much money up there. It's just amazing how people have so much money, and there's so much of it up there. And he just said, yeah, I just saw a beautiful convertible Bentley, most beautiful car I've ever seen. I said, yeah, I don't blame those wealthy people. If I were wealthy, I would be buying something like that too. Not the low-riding Corolla, Michael. Sorry.
All right. I mean, the Bentleys are nice.
It's a beautiful car. It's a beautiful car. All right, you ready to get into it, Miguel?
Oh, that wasn't it? Yeah, let's get into it.
No, we got to do some economic news.
All right.
Hey, like or not like Jeff Landry, you want to get into politics? I love him. You want to get into politics? I hate him, whatever. All I can say, never in my lifetime have I seen the economic investment coming into Louisiana like Jeff Landry's put together since he's been governor. I mean, it's tens of billions of dollars. Now, the Plaquemine CNG facility, I mean, that expansion's under his watch. That's like another 18 billion. You know, it's off the charts. The Meta thing, 4 of the poorest parishes in the country, parish/counties, 4 of the poorest. He gets this $10 billion Meta thing going up there. I mean, it's mind-boggling. He's Superman right now.
Yeah, it's I think a skeptic could say, look, these projects were coming anyway. He's getting credit for just being in the right place at the right time. But and of course, there absolutely is an element of timing in a number of ways. But the thing that Landry and Susan Bourgeois have done is they've made sure that they got the projects. They were not going to just come here automatically. When there have been roadblocks, like on the Meta deal, when they had to figure out the energy side with Entergy, they made it happen. For Hyundai, they went over to South Korea and met with the team. For Venture Global, they didn't just announce it. They brought down 2 cabinet secretaries because he's so close to Trump. So you have to give credit where credit's due to the governor and to LED. They closed the deal, and coffee's for closers.
Yeah, exactly. Coffee's for closers. ABC, A always be B, C closing, always be closing. And this guy's apparently doing it. Michael, I'm going to knock out a quick break when we come back. Ascension Parish, I know it's outside of Greater New Orleans, Inc.'s purview, but just barely. And halfway between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, closer to BR, maybe 50 miles from us, 30 from Baton Rouge. They not only got a $6 billion Hyundai steel plant, they just scooped up a Japanese $4 billion ammonia plant. So it's just the hits keep coming for Jeff Landry, and he's got a goal of $50 billion of investment in South Louisiana, and it seems like he's pretty damn close. Michael Hecht's with us from Greater New Orleans Inc. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, if you need a pair of prescription glasses, some great sunglasses, Google Art and Eyes on Magazine. Name brands you've never heard of, and that's a good thing. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them. You'll be glad you did.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Hey, New Orleans. If you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Hey, if you're on the Causeway, Beeline and northbound, why don't you pop into Trey Inn? Better yet, why don't you fire in a to-go order at Trey Inn? Curbside delivery, they walk it right out to your car. That whole speckled trout or flounder is outstanding. Don't forget the Tong Cho sauce. It's not Chinese food, it's Chinese cuisine. It's Trey Inn in Mandeville. Michael Hecht's with us from Greater New Orleans Inc. for a few more minutes on this Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Michael, how about Ascension Parish? I mean, a $6 billion with a B Hyundai steel plant, state of the art. You know, I'm not knocking Bayou Steel. I like what they did, but this is brand new, state of the art, not recycling steel. And then now they're getting this Japanese $4 billion ammonia plant.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Look, my family's from Donaldsonville, so I claim Ascension, a bit to be my own. By the way, I'm going in the elevator, going to the next thing.
Uh-oh. I think we lost you, Miguel. We're losing you. You're going in and out, so we have to wait till you get to your destination.
Give me 20 seconds, and I'm going to tell you about both those deals.
All right. Well, now you're loud and clear, so maybe you hit a good spot in the elevator shaft. Yeah, tell us about those deals.
Well, the Hyundai one, it's basically.
Uh-oh, lost you again. 20 more seconds. Hang on. We lost you again.
All right, hold on. I'm coming. Now we can hear me.
Yeah, now you're out the elevator now?
Yeah, no, I'm out of the shaft.
All right, great. It's like a T-Mobile commercial. Can you hear me now?
No. Yeah, can you hear me now? This is good. I feel like a little, out of the shaft, coming to find my egg.
Hey, $6 billion steel plant, $4 billion ammonia, $10 billion bucks.
And this is a place, Donaldsonville, talked about as the best city ever built on the wrong side of the river. And now it is poised to get these jobs. They're all paid between $90,000 and $100,000. It's really exciting because the west bank of the river has historically not gotten the investment. Donaldsonville's been sleepy since my family was there in the 1830s. And both of these are environmentally responsible. The Hyundai one has 70% less emissions than a traditional steel plant. It's electric. It's not one of these traditional gas-fired plants. And the ammonia facility is going to be using carbon capture, so it's low emissions as well. So it's kind of hitting both things. It's environmentally responsible. It's creating jobs. It's serving the world. It's international investment, so it's reshoring. So, yeah, there's a lot to like about these wins and about the momentum that they're creating.
I like the name, Riverplex Mega Park. Riverplex Mega Park.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like a professional wrestling kind of deal, right?
Yeah, it sounds professional. It does. Hey, Michael, the BGR said the city of New Orleans lacks sound fiscal policy. They're really concerned about the money in reserve going bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that the BGR did this study. But this is a bit like one of those studies that comes out that comes back with the revelation that smoking is bad for you or exercise increases longevity.
Well, I agree, but it's like Edwin Edwards is a crook. We all know it, but you need the attorney to indict him and tell you what he did too. And then
that's true. That's true. It's it's just really important that the city get some discipline over its internal books. It's one of the reasons why it always seems like the city has no money despite getting tens of millions of dollars. It's because they just don't know for sure how much they have. And so, it is going to be up to, I think, the next mayor to put in a modernization. But I also recognize that that's easier to say than to do, because when you're talking about migrating legacy systems, it's really difficult. There's a lot of cost and a lot of difficulty in getting in migrating up. Somebody was telling me about this National Finance Center that we just saved and is out at UNO.
You're talking about the Navy one that went from Michoud to the beach?
Yeah, it's actually what they do is they're the biggest payroll processor for the federal government. Actually, it's all of government. They just happen to be in the Department of Agriculture. They really should be in the GSA. But anyway, they're recognized as being very efficient, doing a very good job. the software platform that they're on is Cobalt. This is a software platform that anybody under the age of, like 40 probably has never even heard of. And it's because it's so difficult to migrate and upgrade. So I don't want to minimize the challenge the city has, but the problem exists nonetheless. And you're right, it's good for the BGR to point this out because they're credible.
So the city's running on a 286 computer.
Yeah,
Maybe the 1082 at 14.4 speed.
The first Atari.
I remember going.
What was your console of choice?
Well, I mean, when I was a tot, really young, Pong came out, which was just the two dials where the ball went back and forth and you moved the paddle up and down the screen on either side. And then Atari came out with, like Combat and, that kind of stuff. And then, thank God, I went to college and I thought I played Tecmo Bowl for about 45 minutes and it was literally 8 hours. And I've never touched a video game ever since.
Yeah, so you had one of the experiences. You basically overdosed and you've gone cold turkey.
It's kind of like cigarette smoking. I did that for a few months in college. I was like, Corey, there are going to be certain women that just don't like you for whatever reason. So that, cigarette smoking, you're just funneling it down even more. So I got rid of the cigarette smoking and, other things that I didn't need. Like I'm right on the line, Michael. You are too. No one older than us plays video games. No one. But everyone younger than us seems to play them. So we could have chosen to play them or not, and I chose to not play them. I have no idea how a Nintendo console works. I wouldn't know what button to push to start the damn thing.
I actually prefer to watch people play video games, which is, I don't know if that's more or less strange, but I used to watch my roommates play Blades of Fury. I found that about as good as watching a real hockey game.
Uh-oh, I got something not so good, Michael.
What's that?
The state pauses work on the Mid-Barataria diversion. I don't think it's ever going to be the same. They're going to downsize it. It's going to be basically, worthless. And but besides just what pisses me off is it's a few dozen oystermen and fishermen. It's a few dozen politicians in Plaquemine. I bet you the majority of Plaquemine people are for it. It protects them. It helps them. It doesn't worsen flooding. It helps them against flooding. The fisheries and the oysters are just going to move further out. And then besides all that, Michael, it's $3 billion and it's thousands of jobs over years. And the city, the state, Gordon Dove, who heads up I don't know what he heads up, the environmental thing, and he's not environmentally thinking. Just the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. I'm really saddened by this.
Yeah, it's not clear what's going to happen. I do agree with you that it's likely to go forward in a downsized state. And, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to work. I mean, it might be, it's gotten very, very expensive. And maybe there's a way to do it that's more cost effective and less over-engineered. But time does kill deals. And the longer this thing hangs out there, less chance that it's going to be done and done effectively. I'm still trying to untangle everything that's going on behind it and what really is behind it. And I think that the oystermen are only part of the story. I think there are probably many elements of this. And, the thing to remember is that it started under Governor Jindal. So it certainly started in a political context, in the first place. And it never has really been able to shake it, and that's definitely been a drag.
No, it's 20 years. It's so many hurdles and bipartisan. We finally get it all done. It's funded fully, and then we may have cost overruns. We're worried about that. It's all nonsense. This is politics at its worst, and it kind of pisses me off. Hey, Bourbon Street Pedestrian Mall. It's kind of a yin-yang. You can't just make it a full-blown pedestrian mall. Someone owns a property. They have a driveway. Businesses need trucks delivery. But it's got to be sort of a little bit of both, right?
Yeah, no, it needs to be a little bit of both. People do this all around the world. You can make it a pedestrian mall most of the time. You can set it up so that it works well for deliveries, or people have to go to a hotel, or people who need access.
Yep.
There's a way to do this. But what you don't need to be doing is just like driving down Bourbon Street, on a regular day, or driving down just to cruise to show off your sound system.
No,
It's
exactly.
just, and then the thing is that the shop owners will find that they'll actually get more business, not less.
Yes,
when it's pedestrianized. People will spend more money. It's friendlier. It's nicer.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's a way to do this.
Michael Hecht, enjoy your weekend. Next week, we'll talk about the legislative session and the linear park on the riverfront.
Yeah, that's right. Linear Park, very exciting. Legislative session. It's going to be very exciting, too, in a very different way.
Have a great
Some people
weekend,
think
Michael.
paint
Thank
is
you,
paint.
brother.
Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint.
That's
That
Michael
don't
Hecht.
paint.
Radio
We only sell
Orleans,
Benjamin
coming
Moore
right back.
because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
At least they're talking about these injury attorneys. I thought Jeff Landry comparing injury attorneys and insurance companies kind of as equal and opposite. You know, I'm sick of seeing Morris Bart as much as I'm sick of seeing the Lizard, meaning Geico. They're not equal and opposites. The insurance companies, that we have choices. We can go to another insurance company. You know, that some don't insure in Louisiana anymore. You know, they are a company. It's America. They're out to make a profit. Some insurance companies are hard to deal with. You may have to get an attorney. But most folks get a settlement from the insurance company, and most of the time it's acceptable. You may have to fight and go back and forth and explain the situation. We've all dealt with insurance claims. Most of the time, most of us are fine. So comparing like injury attorneys where most of what they're doing seems like nonsense. When I say injury attorneys, the television advertising, billboard, radio advertising injury attorneys, we know who they are. Morris Bart's the king. He likes thinking he's the king. Largest firm, injury firm in the state, $1 billion in claims. That means he's taken in 350, 400 million himself. Go on my Twitter at Corey Johnson. Or better yet, I had Blake R. Curry on the program yesterday. He posted this video that says it all. That says it all. Morris Bart's representing the person in the truck that got pulled over by the cop. Blake R. Curry's representing the police. The policeman pulls over this like F-150 Silverado truck. Cop's about 5 feet. The cop car's like 5 feet behind the truck. The cop is at the window of the vehicle talking to the driver, writing a ticket, whatever. The police cruiser, like an Explorer, starts rolling forward, like less than 1 mile an hour in a 5-foot space, and literally doesn't hit. No one would say, quote, boy, the police cruiser hit the truck. Watch the video. You'd say the police cruiser tapped the truck. Morris Bart's representing the person in the truck that's suing for $1.5 million. $1.5 million. When called out on it on social media, Morris Bart doubles down. I'm proud to get, this large amount for my client. If he pulls that off, he takes $600,000 of the $1.5 million. If you watch the video and watch the police cruiser tap the truck, the driver of the truck, male or female, there's no way they even hurt a fingernail. Impossible to get hurt. Watch the video. Morris Bart says it was, big impact and more traumatic than it looks and $1.5 million. And he's proud to go get that money because he'll take $600,000. Now, someone has to pay for that crap. The insurance companies. So to pay for it, they up the rate on us. And that's how this vicious cycle works. You remember the 18-wheeler gimmick with all the folks slamming in, the slammers, and the people staging these accidents? This is like 50, 60, 80 people. A couple, 4, 5, 6 law firms. It costs everyone in Louisiana, the estimate from that situation alone, $500 annually in higher insurance costs. What does Morris Bart and the television, billboard, radio attorneys cost us? It's got to be like $1,000 plus a year in insurance costs. Had a board op, a guy running the controls of my show from Utah. Salt Lake City, $80 a month for car insurance. Same vehicle in New Orleans, $280 a month. $80 in Salt Lake City, $280 in New Orleans. Got a friend, lives in New Orleans, has a house in Birmingham, Alabama, and a business in Birmingham. Spends more time in Birmingham. His car in New Orleans, $3,400 a year for his SUV to be insured. $1,100 a year in Alabama. He lives in Alabama and registered in Alabama now. No, it's obnoxious. If you watch the video of the police cruiser tapping the bumper of the truck, and if you think anyone's hurt, then you must be a television, radio, billboard advertising injury attorney. No other human being anywhere on planet Earth would say the person in the truck is hurt. It is sinful behavior of the person in the truck to even try to get in a lawyer. And then Morris Bart taking it and running with that erroneous crap, it just proves what I've said. Some of those clients for Morris Bart, any of these advertising, TV, radio, billboard attorneys, these injury attorneys, some of the clients are legit. A lot of them are at the very least exaggerating or embellishing, or at worst, outright lying. And these attorneys like Morris Bart are aware, but you can watch the video. Only someone like Morris Bart or someone like him, an advertising injury attorney, would think someone got hurt. No, it's sinful behavior. It costs us all money. These egregious, obnoxious, over-the-top television, radio, and billboard advertising injury attorneys, it's got to stop. It needs to be taken way, way down. And no mention of money or what they got, none of that crap. We have the same amount of accidents per capita as anywhere in America. In those accidents, we have the same amount of damage as anywhere in America. Yet we have 2 times the injury claims as the rest of the country. No, Blake or Curry said it best. We either have weak, feeble people that are easily injured in Louisiana, or we have a bunch of injury attorneys taking advantage of the system with this egregious advertising, which promotes people to come up with these exaggerated, embellished, if not outright lies concerning an injury and a lawsuit to follow. No, it's pathetic. Morris Bart, all these TV guys, Dudley DeBosier, all these folks, they've been cruising by way too long, taking advantage of the system with their obnoxious attitude. It's finally great that they're being called out. Let's hope that Jeff Landry, the legislature, really does some legitimate tort reform, especially with the advertising. That's the key to getting our insurance rates stabilized. Blue Boy, it's the weekend. Jazz, French Quarter Fest, Strawberry Fest. Let's do it. Great weather.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Blue Boy.
On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM. WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.